Hey, y'all.
Hey.
I'm excited to be here, by the way. The energy is just outstanding in Milwaukee, I just got to say.
They feel like Philly people. They feel like Philly people.
And Baltimore. And can I shout out, what's the brand who's earring? Jay who? Jay Riley. Shout out to Jay Riley. I got my earrings. Okay, and then what's the brand I got on my shirt? Unfinished Legacy. We're both wearing Unfinished Legacy, a Milwaukee brand, okay? So we're supporting local in real time. We done took our clothes off and put this on, okay? So here we are. So happy to be here, y'all. Thanks for having us.
Hey, we all fam, right? Let's get real close and cozy. I need everybody on the sides to move into the middle, and if you're in the back, to move up.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right. Ain't no more social distancing. You can't use that as an excuse.
All them people walking around with them masks and nothing.
Oh, y'all, and I just had Twisted Plants. Shout out to, clap it up for Twisted Plants, okay?
Hey.
Did I say that right? Is that the name? Okay, them too. Okay, I had Planted Vibes, okay? So make sure that y'all go to the hub. What was the name of the hub that I went to? Okay, that hub, okay? And I had a bowl, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. This bowl probably was one of the best bowls that I ever had in my life, and I'm not just exaggerating. So thank you for filling my belly. I think I ate too much. I'm like, y'all, I'm so full. I ate too much, but it was so good that I had to go back and get some more. So make sure that y'all support her brand. Yeah. So thank you so much.
I think that was a content moment. You should have got that on video now.
Come on, somebody got it.
Somebody got it. I don't feel it.
All right. So, again, thank you guys for being present. Thank you both for being present. I almost feel like Pinky doesn't need an introduction, but you do. I'm going to turn it over to Khalif so he can tell you just a little bit more about Leaf with the Legend and, yes, Young Enterprising Society before we kick it off with this amazing conversation.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm Khalif El-Amin, COO of Young Enterprises Society, as well as host of Leaf with the Legends podcast, where we highlight individuals doing amazing things in sports, entertainment, business, and entrepreneurship. So I'm less than a year into my podcasting journey, but this is just, more.
Come on.
Yeah, we go. But this is just practice. This is like I said, this is fam. So, we're prepared. We're looking forward to this conversation, and, I'm going to kick it off. All right, so this first question is for Pinky. So you started teaching after graduation. Subleased a restaurant in New York while working for Maury. You young folks don't know about Maury.
Everybody know about Maury.
Oh, yeah, in this room, it's 18 and up. I forgot, it's 18 and up. Y'all know about Maury. All right, the restaurant caught fire, right? You didn't have a plan B at that point. So can you speak on perseverance and the importance of having a plan B?
Oh, yes, I can. Okay, so I'm going to take you all the way back. So I graduated from Clark Atlanta University, okay? Okay, come on. And when I graduated, I did not have a plan. That was the first phase of not having a plan. And it was the year of the recession. So I got a job at Teach for America, making $45,000 a year. And at the time, that was a whole lot of money. And people weren't giving out jobs. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take it. Didn't want to do it. It wasn't in my ministry. And shout out to all the teachers in the audience. But I just knew that I didn't want to be a disservice to people in a classroom. But I did it anyway. And that was the first and the last time that I'll ever do something like that. So after 5 days being there, I left. Okay, 5. It was really 4.5, okay? But on the 5th day, he risen. No, okay. But so I went to the airport. Long story short, this guy from Southwest Airlines, he gave me $240. I didn't know him, complete stranger, but it wasn't a stranger. It was really God, just in the vessel of this flesh of a person that worked at Southwest Airlines, okay? And he gave me $240, and I took that, and I never looked back because he gave me enough to get on a plane. Fast forward, I packed up my bags, moved to Los Angeles, California with a duffel bag, a suitcase, and a Bible. Okay, a Bible that I didn't even know how to read, to be honest. I just walked around with it because I knew it's going to work, whether I knew it was in it or not, okay? So did that, became a television producer very early on. Now, if you know anything about production, you got to be really good to get promoted. So that wasn't even my dream. I was Miss Clark Atlanta University. I'm the pageant girl. How I end up behind the scenes? And I did that, and it took me to New York City, where I became a producer for a show called The Jeremy Kyle Show. And then I was so good, people heard about me in the industry, and I got a call from the Maury Show saying that they wanted me to work there. And then I got really good at that. So here I am. I was 28 years old. I got a 401k, and now I got an opportunity to open up my first restaurant, and it was called Pinky's Jamaican and American Restaurant. And I was doing the damn thing, y'all. Like, I had lines down the block, okay? But I was selling jerk chicken, and I was vegan. It didn't make sense, okay? So I wasn't in alignment. So, like, when I look back at the bigger picture, that wasn't my calling. That was just kind of like the introduction to where I was supposed to go. But I needed to get those hiccups and those speed bumps, because after I lost my restaurant to a grease fire, I felt like I lost it all. My car got repoed. I got kicked out of my apartment. Bad relationships, anything that you can think of happened to me. And I could not salvage anything because I did not have fire insurance. So here I am. This is the person that anything that I've ever touched turned to gold because I put my mind to it. It wasn't working for me. So I was feeling defeated. But in the moment where I felt like I was just about to throw in the towel, I get a call to work on a TV show called Y'all Fix My Life. Y'all remember that show? As a casting director. And God got a funny way of working. And I don't want to get too spiritual on y'all, but literally in the middle of a depression, I got the opportunity to work on a healing show to help other people. So while I was giving other people the access to the healing, I was getting the healing that I needed. And when you ask about perseverance, when I look back over my life and all the things that I've been through, I realized that I needed to go through all these things. I needed to become an expert. I needed to fall on my face. I needed to go flat broke. My wages needed to get garnished, because what it did is it put me in position to understand and identify that when I see it again, I know what to do differently. Am I talking to myself? Okay, so that is my introduction to perseverance. And it gets deep, so I'll stop right there, but yeah.
Hey. Hey, I don't know if y'all chairs got seatbelts on them, but y'all better buckle up.
Listen, as soon as I saw her sit up, I'm like, yeah, do your thing. But speaking of, everyone has their own story and testimony. And Derrick, you too have a story of perseverance. You experienced cancer and losing two important people right away, and being disabled for 5 years yourself, and to bounce back to where you are, and obviously it didn't jump from there to this right away. Could you speak of your story of perseverance and what led you to keep going?
Y'all did y'all homework, because a lot of people don't know I was disabled. But I'm from West Philadelphia, born and raised just like Will Smith. I used to always use that. But I grew up in a two-parent household, my mother and my father. But as I was growing up, my mother and my father, they started to have relationship problems. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because I'm going to tell y'all something, I'm going to answer your question. If you're in a relationship right now and you got kids and y'all can work it out, because they're going to carry that when they get older. I'm 37 years old and I still feel that trauma. So I watched my mother and my father, go through this separation, and then I started getting in a lot of trouble. But I was this kid that always just wanted his own. Like, I was selling Philadelphia newspapers. I was selling bean pies. I ain't even Muslim, and I was sitting there with a 5%er, and I'm like, listen, I need a job. But I was that kid that, knock on the neighbor's door, you need me to run to the store or whatever. I always had that hustle. So when my father was sick, and I watched him take his last breath, but before he died, he literally told me, I raised you to stand on your 10 toes. I want you to break all the generational curses. And I don't want you to work paycheck to paycheck like I did my whole life. And I took those words with no vision, no dream, just the willpower to want change. Like I tell people, you don't got to know your road, just want better for yourself, and you'll find the vision as you go. And for me, I ain't supposed to be here. Like, when I mean this, I mean I ain't supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be standing on the stage talking to y'all. I felt public speaking in high school. I didn't finish college. I'm not what society standards say that I'm supposed to be a black man with 40-something tattoos and dreadlocks in my hair. But I'm in Forbes Top 1000. I didn't grace the cover of Essence magazines. I didn't did things that they never dreamed of me doing, and I did it off a cheesesteak. Now I'm going to tell y'all the next thing. I ain't selling food. I'm selling a dream. I'm selling a story. I'm selling hope. I'm selling something that you get inspired when you watch my story and my vision and my dream, so you can change your life around. So in 2014, I went to the Shell gas station in Dunwoody, Georgia. I tried to get a location everywhere. I had a lawsuit from them, filed back operations where I was disabled. And I came to Georgia at 26 years old with 7 figures. And of course, you know, that's a lot of money. You know, you think it's never gonna run out. I spent $1.something million in 14 months. Broke, but I had Big Dave's. And when I started Big Dave's, I had $500 in my bank account. My pockets was broke, but my mind was rich. Because I already knew about money. I already knew what I wanted. All I had to do was be around it and have a chance. So I was around all my celebrity buddies at that time. They was all building themselves, and I was going over their houses, and I'm getting motivated. I remember one day, Rick Ross, I walked through his house, and he showed me a painting for like $500,000. And I'm saying to myself, if this man got a painting for $500,000 and I blew $1 million, it's more out here to go get. So I lived in a chef coat and Crocs for 4 years until I saved my money back up, until I wanted to go buy my first brick and mortar downtown, $700,000 location. After I had $500 in my bank account, so like when you got the willpower to win, you could win. Just know your road. And this is my famous quote I like to tell people. Life is not a track meet, it's a marathon. Run your race. Because a lot of us, we get that fast-paced race in the beginning, and everybody's stroking your ego. And the guy in the end is the one that won because he was paying attention to what he got in his product. So that's how I did it.
Yes.
That's my boyfriend, y'all.
Thank you, thank you. Y'all in for a treat, I told y'all.
So, Pinky, as entrepreneurs, early on, you work with family. So what has been your experiences with working with blood?
No, ask her that.
So I always tell the truth, so I'm not going to tell you a lie.
Let's go.
Family. Can I be real with y'all? Mm-hmm. Once upon a time, I thought that family was defined by the blood that you share. Mm-hmm. Right? But that's not the truth. It's about the emotional DNA that you share with somebody, right? The integral DNA, the DNA of loyalty, okay? That's your family. I got people on Instagram that I call family before the people that share the same blood that I do. And before I used to feel guilty about it. But what I realized is there is a certain level of entitlement sometimes with family, especially when you are building a business. I'm going to be honest. I ain't never run a multi-million-dollar company before. This is my first time. I'm a rookie. I'm trying to figure it out. But I can't run a multi-million-dollar company when there are people next to me that are sucking me dry while I'm trying to build this empire. Let me build it, and then I can share it. But I have had certain experiences, and not just with family, but people who are close to me that want to sit back and collect but don't want to do the work. Because when everybody go to sleep, I'm sitting, me and my pillow. My husband on the other side, he sleep, right? But I'm sitting, me and my pillow and my thoughts, trying to figure out what is next week going to look like, how I'm going to figure it out. So now when everybody else got their hands out, I'm sitting here like, damn, you wasn't even with me in the gym shooting. And I got to figure it out on my own. So family is a very delicate subject for me because I love my family, but I also realize that everybody can't go. And the minute that you get okay with that, then you understand. You know who my family is now? My husband and our 5 kids. That's my family. I'm making sure that they are taken care of. They are making sure that I'm taken care of. Because guess what? When home is taken care of, when that level of family, then I can pour from my cup and give to everybody else. And the reason why I paused on that, because I'm dealing with something with family right now. I'm the youngest of 8 siblings. And all of my siblings don't really talk to each other. I'm going to be honest. And it hurts because you grow up with these people, you build relationships, you bond with them, but at the end of the day, you got to know when enough is enough. Yes. So I am navigating. I'm the first millionaire in my family. Yes. Y'all, do you know how much pressure that is? Not just million, multi-million-dollar person in my family. So I got to be everything to everybody. So as I navigate and elevate in my career, I am learning, honestly, how to set boundaries, and you should too, right? You got to know what you're willing to accept. You got to understand that, like, it's okay to say no. And you could put a period behind that and not a comma. You understand what I'm saying? So that's kind of like where I'm at in this journey. And I'm super, super clear and focused more than I've ever been, because before I used to let it beat me up a long time. So I say all that to say I ain't bringing no more family in my company. And that's that.
Thank you. And stand in alignment with family. You two are married. You two are multimillionaires. How do you separate ego and keep the family focus?
And tell the truth, because I've been mad at him, y'all, for the last 4 days.
I'm about to give it to y'all real. I think the ego side of it is what makes it work. She got an ego big as the sky, and so do I. But I think that, like, when it comes to the relationship side, we ain't like, all right, it's time to love, it's time to do business. Yeah, anybody ever seen Going to 60 Seconds, the movie? Y'all remember when they was making out in the car before they stole the car? That's how we do with business. We start talking about multi-million-dollar companies and we start making out. That's just how it works. So, in total, like, realness of everything I'm saying is, like, I'm gonna take y'all back real fast. 2020, she slid in my DM.
Here we go.
I gotta tell them the truth.
Here we go.
Because the whole world think I bagged you, she bagged me. So, let me tell you how it happened. My windows got broken out. George Floyd riots, y'all remember that. My downtown location is my landmark. It sit right across the street from Georgia State. So while they was marching downtown, they was breaking my windows. And I went on social media and I'm like, how y'all do this to me? And I take care of the community.
And then the big dog came through.
And then Pinky said, nah, listen.
The big dog came through and said that you need some help.
No, let me tell you what she said. I'm going to tell y'all what she said. She said, let's meet up. So when I heard that meet up part, I'm like, she trying to slide. She ain't trying to help me. So when she asked me to help, I said, nah, but all in all, we sat at this restaurant, and I talked to her for like an hour. God rest his soul, my cousin, he lost his life a few years back. He was at the table with me, and he kept kicking my foot. And we was already eating. We was done eating for like an hour. And when I got in my car, he was like, yo, you gonna marry her. And I knew that, like, I was in a long relationship before Pinky. I was in a relationship for like a decade. And I'm telling y'all this because I want y'all to understand when your person is in front of you, you're going to know it. I literally only knew her for 3 months. She was pregnant. We joined all our bank accounts in the first year. We bought, and yeah, dangerously, right? We bought a lot of properties.
That's a lot of Russian roulette.
Yeah, we bought a lot of, we bought about 12, 13 properties together the first year. So, like, literally, we was already married before we got to the paper. Like, I already knew I trusted this person, and to get to the family element, we go through the same thing. So, like, in my life at the time, I was taking care of 20 people when I met her. And she said, D, how are you going to take care of 20 people a month like this? This is not healthy. I'm like, well, I'm the only one that's really bringing it in that could do these things, because where I come from, it's like an average household of $30,000 income. Like, I'm from where your next neighbor got rats and roaches, you got them too. So I took this guilt with me along the way, and, like, I always try to save people, and, like, my heart is, like, big as the sky, and, like, I always want to be that person until I fell on my own face and nobody was there to pick me up because my bills is too high. And I can't go to my family and tell them I need $1 million in 3 days. You know what I'm saying? So I had to realize I had to start really moving accordingly to my lifestyle, and she was a big part of that, because you only know your level of life until you meet the person beside you that can be on the same level as you, and y'all can talk the same talk, y'all can walk the same walk, and understand that. So for me, I don't have no more guilty conscience on who I left behind. I don't have that worry in the morning when I wake up like, damn, I can bring this person on because I got my person that I'm supposed to be building my empire with.
I'm still mad at him, so
she ain't mad at me.
It sounded good.
She ain't mad at me.
I'm kidding.
I'm in Milwaukee right now. You ain't mad at me.
Yeah, that smile tells a different story now, Pinky.
So, you know, it's interesting because both of my best friends was like, it's this guy, and y'all both got lines down the block, and y'all will be a power couple. Y'all be like the Jay-Z and Beyonce of food. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with nobody to eat me ill, right? And when we connected, it was like a spark that I could not describe, because I felt like I was looking in the mirror. And I don't know how many people in here are in relationships, but I felt like he was the male version of me. We got the same swag. We got the same energy, the same confidence. We big dreamers. We got the same everything, right? And I'm like, this is my person. And there was no doubt about it. And let me tell you how I know that this person is my person. And I'm going to get real, like, open and honest with y'all. Back in 2012, a doctor told me that I wasn't going to be able to have children because I had fibroids. So I just said I was just going to be the fly auntie, and that was it for the rest of my life. I got pregnant by this man 3 months after we met.
She set me up. She told me about the thyroid.
Wait. So we got a 10 and 8-year-old from his previous relationship. And then together, we got a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a 6-month-old right now.
Hold up, babe. Can you pause real fast?
What?
Can I? I'm going to let her finish, but Let me tell y'all what she did for me.
Let me finish.
No.
Keep
I
talking.
gotta literally tell them this. My son was born on the day my father died.
Yeah.
So my firstborn, my son, I thought I couldn't make boys. So my last daughter name is D, the letter D. That was my junior. Everybody was like, "You serious?" The doctors and everything. Yes, the letter D. That's what I want to name her. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I had my son, and she told me a couple of days. She was like, I think I'm gonna have him on your dad's death day." And I'm like, "Nah, it's impossible." She called me while I was driving and was like, "Get to the hospital. It's happening today." And let me tell y'all something. I was so hyped and happy because I'm like, I ain't got to worry about stressing no more on this day now. I got my son. I couldn't even pick my son up when I seen him. The first year was the hardest year of my life because I kept feeling like I was looking at my dad. He kept looking at me, so I used to just stare at him, and I would go, even from her, I would go in the car and cry. Because I'm like, how do God come back this many years later on the same day? And I got something for y'all. My dad died at like 10:50. My son was born at 11 o'clock. So they literally was around the same exact time. So that changed my life. That gave me all my confidence. That gave me not to care about what none of y'all feel about. Like, I knew my purpose, I knew my dream, and I knew my wants. So, like, that's the biggest gift you ever gave me.
No, thank you.
I'm about to cry up here.
No, for real. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not mad no more. Okay, next question.
So we know how hard it is for entrepreneurs to get funded, especially underrepresented entrepreneurs. So what were your thoughts when you heard that the Fearless Fund could not support African-American women anymore?
Okay, so that's a real personal question because Fearless Fund is one of my investors. I don't know did you know that?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay, that's where you got the question from. Duh. Okay. Okay. So Fearless Fund is one of my investors and one of my minority investors, right? I'll first preface this by saying Arian is just like a true agape spirit. One thing that I love about Arian, and Arian is the founder, is she's connecting me with so many people that I probably otherwise wouldn't have been connected to. So this is a rat race in these industries, right? It's not many Black women that are all at the top, right? It's like everybody fighting for the top spot, to be honest. That's really what it is, right? So when you have somebody like Arian who genuinely wants to support and don't want nothing in return, money can't pay for that. So she's connected me. I did a shoe deal with Steve Madden. We sold out in 48 hours, right? Y'all remember that shoe deal? Arian did that for me from Fearless Fund. I got my products in Costco. Arian did that. She made some key connections for me and even got me an additional investment. She did that. So when you think about Black-owned, woman-owned, minority-owned businesses that are not at the helm of getting injections of capital, historically especially, and you have Fearless Fund, who has been rooted in making sure that Black women especially get money, to hear what the outcome was, it hurts. You take it personal because this ain't just a Fearless Fund thing. This changes the dynamic and course of what it looks like when organizations want to give to Black-owned businesses. So it's unfair on so many levels, but what do? Where do we go from here? Now you have to find ways to navigate, to rally together, to come up with a solution by way of public opinion. What people don't understand is when everybody rallied together, you can enact change and change law. So I'm looking forward to what Arian continues to do with this mission and overturning this, and I'm going to stick right beside her every step of the way. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Derrick, jumping back to you. So you mentioned starting your first location in a gas station. How did you know when it was time to scale? And can you talk about that process a little bit, opening up different chains? And congratulations on your most recent deal, too, in the stadium.
Thank you.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, that one made me actually cry because I can't believe I went in a room with 14 people and talked my way into something I didn't even know I was going to get. But sometimes they say if you open your mouth, it'll happen for you. Yes. So I would say I knew it was time for me to go when I started making more money than the gas station. I had so much traffic at this gas station. Every day we had between 200 and 500 people literally lined up, to the point the gas station started putting signs on the pump saying, "Do not park on this pump." And the gas station guys started getting irritated with me, and Walmart started getting irritated with me. AutoZone started getting irritated with me because all the cars are now parking in their lots. So I knew, at some point in your life, when you got the ball, don't miss that slam dunk, because sometimes you ain't gonna be able to jump back up and slam it again. And I already had missed my slam dunk by blowing my money. So I said, you know what? It's time to go. It's time to take my leap of faith. I'm going to the city. And when I went to the city, Atlanta supported me like I was born and raised from there. Like, they opened their arms. Like, literally, my soft opening had about 500 people in line. So I didn't even know what the grand opening was going to look like if the soft opening looked like that. And to be honest, they supported me so much that I didn't feel hardships when I was going through hardships, because I could look at the lines. Now, I'm going to get to the real truth of it. You could have a popular brand and you could have lines and not making money, because you don't know where your bottom line is. You don't know what your prime cost is supposed to be. EBITDA, I'm telling y'all, all entrepreneurs, if I ain't tell y'all nothing else, EBITDA, EBITDA, EBITDA. If you want to scale your business, you got to show profitability. And I used to sit there and argue with people like, man, I got people coming up to me asking me for my autograph, taking pictures. What you talking about? I know where I'm going. But when the real investors are talking to you, they not talking from that lens that you looking at. They talking from them numbers. So I started to get my numbers together, because I'm going to tell y'all something real. And I ain't never shared this with nobody. When Pinky got 25 million, I had to pause. We was both on the same round. My investors came to me. We got the same investors. And the hard truth was, we got to pause because your corporate team isn't right. And I'm going to go back to the family element. I had too much family at the top. And in the corporate world, you can stand alone and you can, try to be this different person. But you ain't going to get there that way, because they scared to take that leap for you that way, because you got people at the top that's controlling finances, right? And then I started understanding business more. So as I listened, while now I'm so happy for my wife, but at the same time, I got a multi-million-dollar business that's on hold right now. And I'm like, George Floyd just lost his life and all the black women getting funding. And I'm a black man, and I'm making, at the time, I was making like $7-8 million a year at that time. So, and I couldn't get the same funding. So I had to sit and not be in my own way and say, you know what? It's not my time. But let me tell you the blessing of all of this. I got to watch her time, so I know how not to make the mistakes, right? And right now, I got 22 franchise locations, 8 corporate locations. I'm the highest grossing business in the Mercedes-Benz. I beat Chick-fil-A first opening day in sales. They probably gonna be mad I said that. But
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
But you know what? I don't care, because I've been waiting for my flowers. I've been waiting for my moment. Because I'm something they ain't never seen before, so they don't know how to handle me. So you could tell me tomorrow, I'm not going to give you no funding, and I'm building a restaurant next week, and you say, how the hell he did that? Because I'm a go-getter. Yeah. So I literally took this hustle in me that I took from Philly every step of the way. So I went from one location to another location to build another one. And how I got in the Mercedes-Benz was, I got offered to do training camp with my food truck. And when the Falcons came up to the truck, they were going crazy over the egg rolls. Next thing you know, all the reporters in line. And 2 weeks later, I got offered 2 carts, right? Just little kiosk carts. And in my kiosk carts, I was making more money than they was making in the bars selling liquor. Because my lines were so long on the carts, they offered me another cart. So I was on 3 levels in the Benz, right? One of the biggest stadiums in the world. I said I can no longer do this no more, because I deserve a brick and mortar. Yes. I deserve to be treated like a national tenant. I came in here and I told y'all everything I was going to do, and I did it. And I said this in front of all of they corporate. And a week later, I ain't going to tell you how much the deal was, but just know it was millions over the years that I'm now a corporate partner. And now I'm a youth ambassador of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So anything when it comes to Westside Works, anything they got going on, they come through me now. They let me be the face of that program.
Yes. So it sounds like the food speaks for itself.
The food speaks for itself, but like I said, the story's better because anybody in here can, like, if y'all was frying chicken, everybody know how to put Lawry's and salt and pepper, whatever you want to put on chicken and make it taste good, right? Yep. But how do I want it again? Why do I want it again? I wanted it again because you either gave me good customer service, you gave me good energy when I walked in your door, and I wanted to support you because I want you to win. So that's the difference. Like, when people genuinely want you to win, like, I see people that genuinely, like, I make this joke with Pinky, and I be like, I might got the young girls and the young guys and all that, but she got the aunties and the grandmas. Like, they be on their canes like
Aunties
this.
and
It
the
be
grandmas
80
love
degrees
me.
outside, and they sitting there. But you know what? That's loyalty, though. She
He
built
got all the
she built the
scribbles.
her way, and I think, no, but for real, it's service, and we all in the service industry, but whatever industry y'all is servicing, just remember this. They got to come back. I tell people all the time, don't chase the celebrity, get no picture for no food. It only hurts one day. You get sales going up one day. You want to chase the 9-to-5 workers, the average Americans, the people that's in your neighborhood, your communities that's going to support you
'Cause
every
they're gonna be the
single
ones that come back.
day. And that's how I've been operating my brand for the last almost 10 years. And that's how I built this.
Yes. Can we just take a moment to give both Pinky and Derrick their flowers?
Thank y'all.
Yes, we can do that. We can stand. I think they deserve it. They deserve it.
y'all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. That's true
y'all.
Milwaukee love right there.
Now I'm going to put a Big Dave's here. Mike, where you at? Mike from Milwaukee, he my manager, so I got to get him the first rights to a Big Dave. So Mike and Dora, I'm putting y'all on the spot.
Mike Whitley with 2 T's.
Shout out to Mike and Dora. So we have one last question you want to follow up with before we open it up for the audience?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So with Yes, we run a business accelerator for adults with tech startups. And as part of our grading scale, we grade off of character. Mm-hmm. So can you just speak as to like the importance of character, like in entrepreneurship and just in life in general?
I like that question, because if you know anything about me, I'm a magnet to money. Money gonna come find me. I ain't got to go looking for it, right? Because how I show up in the world is so real and authentic. I'm good to people. Yes. I'm honest. I'm fair, right? Who you see on TV is who you see in real life. Who you see on social media is who you see in real life. And I tell everybody that money means nothing if your reputation is dirty. You understand what I'm saying? So I work so hard to maintain a good reputation, because at the end of the day, I'm not doing this for me. My kids have to be able to stand in my name. They have to be able to say, Pinky was my mommy, and be proud of that. But I can't mess up the honor of my name, because my kids gonna have to deal with it later. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story, how there was a potential blemish to be added to my name. So I was watching the Golden Globe Awards, and I was in New York, and right after the Golden Globe, it happened 2 times. I'm being totally honest, it happened 2 times. After the Golden Globe Awards came off, the 11 o'clock news came on. Breaking news, Pinky Cole, lawsuit, unpaid wages. I'm like, what? I'm like, for real? I'm getting sued? What happened? Like, I was sick, because anybody that knows anything about me, I don't play with people money, right? So in my mind, I'm going into like turbo drive, because I'm like, this is my name. Mm-hmm. And if my name is not clean, then nobody is ever going to want to do business with me. And this is how I built my legacy. So my lawyers, okay, they was like, Pinky, don't say nothing, be quiet. I'm like, screw you. I went on social media, and my Twitter fingers, I'm like, let me tell y'all something. I don't play about people money. But guess what? At the end of the day, nothing else mattered, because all I care about is my name. When you come into one of my restaurants and we talking about like character and integrity, I got a 0 tolerance policy when it comes to customer service. Any one of my employees are rude to a customer, you're out of here. There is no question. If you're rude to each other, you're out of here. There is no question. I don't play about that, because at the end of the day, hospitality is the best policy. And when you think about the web, it's connected to integrity. It's connected to character. It's connected to how you show up in the world. There's a stigma that Black-owned businesses are rude. They don't get it right. They don't take care of their employees, all stuff. So I'm trying to debunk all of that. Because guess what? It's not a lot of us that get to this level where I'm nowhere near where I want to be. And the last thing I'm gonna tell you this. I went to a summit for my investors. So like there's like a whole summit where all the biggest businesses that you could think of, and I'm a part of the portfolio, so I get access to the people in the summit. So me and Derrick was the only people in there that looked like us. So I was sitting there, and I told Derrick, I said, damn, kids, close your ears for a second. I said, damn. I said, we can't fuck this up. And I said that because we may come as one, but we really stand as 10,000. Yes. If we mess it up, they're going to say, oh, we're not going to get them no money. They don't know how to run no business. Or they don't know how to operate. And guess what? We're not in enough rooms yet to be able to move about as we please. But when we get there, that's when we bring people with us. So it's so important to make sure that your name is clean. It's like Carfax. You understand what I'm saying? Because your name is connected to the character and an integrity of what you built. And I don't play no games about that. So you asked me that question, but that's the only way. Tim, my assistant is back here. Am I lying? That's the only way that I operate with the highest level of integrity. And it's important. And I pray that all other Black-owned businesses and businesses in general do the same exact thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I felt that one because that's where I'm at this point in my life.
Look, Pinky started talking. She make you want to sit up like, okay, pass the collection plate, please. Okay, want to open it up to questions in the audience. I will come around with the microphone. Do we have any questions?
Hey, listen, don't be scared to ask a question because you're going to go home asking yourself that question and having no answer to it. I'm just telling y'all.
My name is Mike Whitley. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. First off, thank you so much for doing this. This is amazing. Great information. So, Derrick, I heard that you're in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And did you break a record yesterday?
I broke the entire record of the whole stadium in history of sales last night.
Yeah. Mike is so crazy.
Thank you for your question, Michael.
All right, so you guys kind of talked about what motivated you through the dark times. What advice would you give to business owners that are kind of going through tough seasons? So like my husband, he went back to school full time. As a family of 6, that was like a big sacrifice for us. And so we're just coming out of that. What advice would you give to people that are going through hard seasons?
You ever been to Six Flags?
Yeah.
You know that roller coaster you got on? That's life. That's what entrepreneurship is. Like, I'm going to be totally honest. I look at millions in my account some days, or I look at 100,000s in my account some days. The way it works is it's a roller coaster, right? And the way the economy works, you got to shift and pivot with it. Now, I'm going to give you an example to speak to your point. In the pandemic, right, they was giving everybody all this money, made everybody lazy. So now nobody don't want to work because you had people that never had $10,000 to their name, they had $10,000 in their bank account. Now, what we going through as entrepreneurs right now is we trying to have people to come, help us and build these dreams, but they don't want to put in the work. And then on top of that, the cost of living changes. The cost of products and goods changes, right? So you got to pivot. So what I would tell you guys, because y'all a couple, if y'all move as one, as a covenant, then y'all will make it because y'all will have each other back no matter how hard it get. Let me tell you what's hard about a relationship trying to build a business when the other person ain't on the same track as you or the same page. I don't want to hear, I told you so, why you do this, or what you doing. Because if right now, you tell your husband right now, you say, hey, we're going to go do this and we're going to take this money and put it in the business. And he like, yeah, let's go. Y'all won. Because guess what? Ain't nothing in y'all relationship is blocking y'all blessing. Y'all both going to jump off that cliff together, whether y'all win or lose. But sometimes losing is winning. Because you don't want to get to the highest top of the mountain and lose because you ain't never felt it before, so you don't know how to get it back. I just told y'all a story about me blowing my money before I became a millionaire, right? God let me touch that success, let me feel it. But I also had a bunch of people around me at the same time, and I had no residual income. So I lost it all. But I got to feel what it felt like to have and go do what I wanted to do, and I wanted to feel like that again. If I never felt it, I wouldn't know how to go get it. So sometimes we got to look at the losses just like Pinky Book. Like, I hope you fail. Like, sometimes you got to fail to win. Like, stop thinking that because, oh, yeah, I ain't get picked for this, or I ain't do that, or, they passed up on me and that. It wasn't your time because that group that was in that class wasn't your class. You was bigger than that class. You just was waiting for your turn to come. So that's how you got to think.
I want to give y'all something real quick. So, who's the face of your business?
You're going to say them kids.
Okay.
The kids should be the face. Let me just throw y'all that.
So I want to give you something. So you say you're in school right now, right? Oh, congratulations. Yeah. Okay. So The company is a skincare company, right? Body care. Okay. So if you haven't done this, then forget that I said all of this, but I'm about to give you a whole blueprint real quick. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is you need to get them some tailored suits. And like the girls, you get them like some black dresses. And I want them to do a photo shoot like this, like the boss style photo shoot. You're going to get you a publicist. I'm going to give you a publicist recommendation. His name is Lamont, right? And then what you're going to do is that publicist is going to put out a press release, the youngest entrepreneurs out of Milwaukee with a skincare company, right? And they're you got the CEO, the COO, the CMO, and then he is he's the operator. Get them some titles, right? And y'all put them on paper on the operating agreement, okay? And y'all become their employees. So y'all are behind the scenes. We don't want to see y'all. We love y'all, but we don't want to see y'all. This is their business. And guess what you do? What I learned about business is people love when children are doing something great. Then you get a videographer, and that videographer is going to do all the content. Like, I want the kids pouring the liquid inside of the bottle, right? Like, all of your content is behind the scenes, breaking the fourth wall. Them sitting there talking about, like, okay, mommy, what do we need to do? And like, really in real time. Y'all are just the managers, but let them be the face of the brand. That same publicist is going to get y'all all Milwaukee radio. They're going to be on a radio station beating kids, even if they ain't paying attention the whole time. Like, yes, we have skincare. Like, what? People are going to love that, and they're going to support it because they are children and they're young entrepreneurs, and everything that they do is about entrepreneurship. And then the revenue that you get from that, then you start to invest it in like real estate or land, but in the name of the kids. So what you're doing is you're building wealth by way of legacy in children, and then you're also showing them that you can become business owners at a young age, and y'all become a leader in the space when it comes to kid entrepreneurship. Something hit my spirit to tell y'all that, and hopefully that is, yeah, so like, y'all definitely need to do something like that.
The youngest one, your son, your daughter, well, them two, it's something special with them, because let me tell you, we meet a lot of kids. We do a lot of speaking. We meet a lot of people. When they walked on the stage, he said his name. He said his age. I ain't even asked him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that shows me that he's developed to introduce himself, and he's comfortable where he's staying at right now. Mm-hmm. So when you give a kid confidence as they grow, ain't nobody going to be able to tell them nothing when they grown. The only reason why we aren't confident sometimes as adults because our whole life we've been feeling like we've been in a box. Mm-hmm. Our whole life we've been feeling like, how can we swim, like, or what they think, or why this or why that. Imagine being there for your kid and actually standing behind them saying, like, all the extracurricular activities, whatever you want to do, I'm there. That's being a different type of parent, and that's getting them a different type of guidance later on. And that's what I'm trying to do best for my kids, because running around doing this, honestly, I have father guilt sometimes, because my kids right now is with my mom right now in Philly. They just was in Baltimore. I seen my kids probably 3 times this month, maybe?
Like 6.
Yeah, but it's something that I had to get used to, because I know that if they got a dad sitting on the couch, I can see them every day, but I ain't securing their future. So you securing their future, and you get to be around them, that's something special.
Yeah. You have to.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, we have to wrap up the question. I know it went really quick, but they gave a lot of really good information. And shout out to the Woods, because they actually traveled from Green Bay to be here today.
Oh, wow.
So I pray that the drive was worth it.